Okay, and welcome to this week's Link for Growth South West Arts TV show. It's Friday the 12th of February 2016. As usual, we have a full show, and I have the full team with me this week, which is absolutely fantastic. Where are we going to start? Because lots of things have happened. Let's start with Tania. Give us a quick run through of some of the headlines that you've got, please, Tania.
Oh, we've got some great stuff over here, Diane. Really, really great stuff. From magistrates' courts closing down to excitement in the woods, and lots of things for older people to be doing over the next couple of weeks.
Okay, and Neil, as usual, we've got an absolutely packed sports section.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about last week's performance and previewing this week's game, and also some local sport.
Yeah. And Chris, you're going to be talking coffee.
I am indeed. Look, I'm also in a coffee shop. I see if I can get it in behind me. There you go. Look at that. So I'm in a coffee shop. I'm in the LP Cafe company at the moment. Actually, just across the road from everybody. I'm going to talk about the coffee union.
Okay. Well, we look forward to a tasty discussion a bit later on then.
Yeah.
Right. And finally, Catherine. Lots of charity news, lots of charity events coming up over the next few weeks.
Yes, that's right. Yes, we've got walks, we've got runs, we've got marathons, we've got swimathons, we've got quizzes, we've got people chucking themselves around parks, and yeah, loads of things going on. I shall tell you all about it later.
Okay, that's great. Well, as usual, we'll start with a whole lot of Link for Growth events and what's happened in the past week. Last Saturday, Chris was at Barracuda, as usual. A couple of people came along, so I'll chat to him then and find out more about what Link for Growth is all about. On Monday, Neil, you held a Link for Growth coffee, didn't you? Oh, okay. It was also not, hasn't heard me. You heard? And no, he's not heard me. I can.
Say that again. I'm here now. Say that again.
Neil held a Link for Growth coffee.
Yeah,
on Monday, and there were lots of interesting people there. Chris, you're muted. You've muted yourself. No. Okay. Catherine, Tania, hello, help. What's happened here?
We don't know. Clearly the mutes are all gone.
It must have done. I mean, that totally freaked me out. Okay, well, Neil will be talking about sport. Fingers crossed. Neil, you had a coffee morning.
Yes, we had a coffee. Sorry about that. Coffee morning on Monday, and it was very well attended actually. We had Emma come up from London as well. Yeah, it was really one of the better ones we've had here, I think. So there's a lot. Everyone hang around afterwards, stay around ages, all talking about Link for Growth and about their businesses, about community. So it's a really good one.
Okay, that's absolutely fabulous. And on Wednesday was the Link for Drinks at Rickmansworth, which was another really good session with a few new ideas for new shows that will be happening locally, being floated and discussed, and hopefully you'll be finding out more about those in the next few weeks. And yesterday, Catherine, you hosted an event at the Mercure, a coffee event at the Mercure.
Yes, it was a cosy affair, but I did get talking to a lady who'd actually been to the coffee morning on Monday. So we had a very long chat. It was a very interesting chat. So yeah, look forward to the next one at the Mercure next month.
Okay, that's great. So let's start with the news. Following on from the news of the cells closing at Watford Police Station, this week it's been confirmed that Watford Magistrates Court is to close. Tania?
Yeah, so they say, Diane, and to be honest, I think this is quite good news, isn't it? The court service have had a review, and they're looking to cut costs, and they've had a consultation out, and the consultation considered closing 91 courts and tribunals. And they had massive response to it. Over 10,000 people signed petitions, and and there was heaps of 2,100, I think, of individual respondents to the consideration, to the proposal, and they've decided instead of closing 91, they're going to close 86. One of them is going to be ours. And the really good news is, on average, of the 86, so that includes ours, that we're closing, sorry, that's ours here in Watford, that we're closing, they're used for just over a third of their available hearing time, the equivalent of less than 2 days a week. So this is actually really good news, following on from that information that we had last week about the crime reports. Our courts here are only used for, on average, about 2 days a week. That's fantastic. Now, clearly, for those people who need to use them, they might need to travel a little bit further to get to them. But the cost of keeping up that building is really huge. So I think, to be honest, that's probably a price worth paying. 1 percentage point of people who will have to travel to reach their new court within an hour by car. That's not too bad, is it? I think we can let them do this. I think this is a good thing.
Okay, that's great. Ascot Road's going to be regenerated. I mean, there's lots of regeneration going on in and around Watford at the moment. You can't seem to move at times for roadworks. But there's lots of building work going on, but Ascot Road's coming in for some special attention.
It is, yeah, absolutely. So Ascot Road, I was speaking to Lisa over at Reason earlier, and she reminded me that's the area where the big post office sorting office used to be. So it's over by where Morrison's now is. And it's a fairly big site over there, I'm guessing. The council, what they've done, I think I'm reading this right, is they own the site, and they've signed a new 250-year lease for it. So they've leased it out, I think, for 250 years with a regeneration specialist, Orion Land and Leisure, for this whole site over there, which sounds pretty good to me. What Orion Land and Leisure are going to do is, first of all, they'll decontaminate it. I've no idea what the contamination is, but they're going to decontaminate it. And then they're going to take up to 2 years to bring this site to life for the benefit of local residents before construction starts. Planning application in autumn, they're expecting, and the new site opening just about the same time as the Castle Bridge Tube Station opens in 2020.
Yeah,
Sorry?
I was just going to say, that's going to be one of the big attractions of moving down to that neck of the woods, isn't it, with the Ascot Road Tube Station opening at roughly the same time.
That's right. It's going to be great, isn't it? It's going to be a lovely new area. You've already got the supermarket there. You've already got the business area there, the whole of that area behind the supermarket. Really lovely little place it's going to be down there, close to the park. Close to the canal, close to my heart, and yeah, it's going to be great. There's going to be homes and jobs on this new site, and in between that, they're going to do pop-up things to make the landscape beautiful. Mixed residential and office quarter with superb transport links. So it looks like good news down there.
It certainly does. Now, we talked about wild art in Withendale Woods last week, but I think it's such a good thing to do over half term, especially since it's aimed at younger children. I thought it was worth repeating this week and telling people a little bit more about what's happening down there and what the plans are and programs are for the week.
Okay, so I think you're absolutely right. This looks brilliant. If I was still a child. In fact, can I just go and pinch somebody's children so that I can take them down on Wednesday and Thursday this week? Because it really does look like great fun. So if your child is under 6 years of age, you can go both days, both Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday, you've got the mini beast hunt in Castle Park for children over 6, to come along between 11 and 1, wearing warm clothes and sensible footwear. Meet at the Gade Avenue car park to Castleby Road. Really? I mean, come on, a mini beast hunt, you want to do that, don't you? Absolutely, you want to do this. And then on Thursday, 10 and under, so I need to maybe take the same child or maybe someone else who's younger than 10. who's younger than 6. Doesn't matter. 10 and under, walk on the wild side, because in Whippendale Woods, Alex Baranowski on Thursday is taking inspiration from preachers that live in the woods between 1 and 4. You can go along there, see Alex's sculptures and paint some fabric banners, which will be hung from the beautiful creations and left in the woods for a few weeks to delight and surprise the visitors. There's a gazebo there. I mean, come on, can this get any better? First of all, on Wednesday you've got a mini beast hunt, and then you've got painting in the woods with fabulous sculpture on Thursday. Also, alongside all of that painting, you've got hot chocolate on the campfire, served with biscuits to keep chills at bay. Couldn't get any better. What a fabulous way to spend your half-term holiday.
Okay, well, that does sound really good if you're particularly young. Now,
or if you're older and just want to be there. Sorry, Diane.
Okay. Now, we talked a little bit about this last week and the revised or proposed council tax increase by Hertsmere District Council. But there's been further developments this week, and it's actually more bad news. They're going to put up more than the amount they announced last week.
That's right, Diane. Last week when we spoke about this, the Hertsmere Borough Council tax bill was estimated to be rising by £3.12 per household. This week it's going to be a £5. So it's going to, the newest proposal is that it's a £5 per household per year, which they've worked out is about 10p per week per household. It's going to raise them a further sum of more than £76,000 over the year. What services they're going to keep going for 76 grand, I've got no idea, because that sounds like not very much for a whole service, but there you go. Every little helps, as they say. What they were doing was they were banking on the new homes bonus grant from the government, and what they've said is that that's not sustainable in the long term, so they're going to have to raise the council tax instead of by £3.12 by a £5. So that's what they're saying.
It's nice to know that someone over there can divide a £5 by 52 weeks.
There you go.
Good. Now, if you're a pensioner, we've talked about the youngsters having fun. Now, the pensioners can have their chance to say about how Three Rivers should be run and organised.
That's right. So Three Rivers has this pensioners forum, which meets at Three Rivers House in Rickmansworth, and its next meeting is on the 19th of February this month, from 2 till 4 in the Pen Chamber at Three Rivers House. And to be honest, I'm just in the wrong age group here, because that Fun in the Woods sounds great, but this also sounds really, really good. And I'm not a pensioner.
Can you borrow someone's granny like you prefer to borrow someone's kids?
Let me go and pinch your granny. Brilliant idea, Diane. Yes, we need to find someone who's a pensioner that I can take along to this meeting, because there's lots on the agenda. So first of all, they've got Michael Knowles from the Watford Observer talking to people about a day in the newsroom and being a local journalist. Then there's a Deputy Lieutenant Stuart Nagler, who looks like he's a Justice of the Peace and a DL, whatever a DL is, talking about the lieutenancy and what's being planned. Exciting stuff. Party. I'm up for a party for Her Majesty's 90th birthday. So he's going to be talking all about that. Then, one for Chris, the history of Leavesden, feature at the forum with Martin Brooks, talking about Leavesden Hospital and the aerodrome. And lastly, there's more. How are they going to fit any more into 2 hours? I've got no idea. Ernie Gray from Rickmansworth Bowls Club will be providing some background to the sports and the club, which has got both ladies and men's section. So much to do over in Three Rivers. So that's 19th of February, 2 till 4, Pen Chamber in Three Rivers House.
Okay. The other thing that's happening down Three Rivers Council Way is an older person's awareness and learning event around the Moore Park and Eastbury areas.
Yeah, you see, there's so much to do. So much to do. Thursday, the 18th of February, 1 p.m. till 4:30 p.m. over at Eastbury Farm School. So that's Bishops Avenue, Northwood. That's Thursday again from 1 p.m. until 4:30. There's it just looks like really good fun. So the aim of these events is to reduce vulnerability of residents within Three Rivers to scams, burglaries, fires and such like, by giving people support and advice and help available within the local community. You go along to these events by the sounds of it, and you find yourself a nice table with lots of lovely other people to sit next to, or not if you'd rather be on your own. And there's a range of people come round table by table and talk to you about the sort of opportunities and the sort of ideas that they can help you with. So you get people coming round to you, or you can go and talk to people who have got stalls around the outside and get the information that you want. The whole thing's 3.5 hours, which includes time for an optional, now get this sounds just brilliant, optional chair aerobic session and afternoon tea. Now, I don't know which is better. Being able to do your exercises in your chair, so how to exercise in a chair, brilliant for those who have got limited mobility, and an afternoon tea and cakes, can't go wrong. Oh, it's free, by the way. Both of these things are free.
Okay, well, yes, I think you need to arrange your diary a bit better.
You're right, yes. There's too many clashes.
Okay, Chris, since we're talking about tea and sticky buns and free cake,
Yeah, for some reason, can you hear me all right?
yes, we can hear you, yeah.
Oh, okay, I can hear you now. You were miming for a second there.
Ah.
So, yeah, so we were going to be talking about the coffee union. Is that what you want me to talk about?
Yes, please.
Okay, so as you can probably see behind me, I'm outside the LP Cafe Company, one of the many independent coffee shops in Watford. And one of the ideas that came up just recently was we've got about 14 of these dotted about the district, and we've got loads of things like Starbucks, we've got Costa, we've got Cafe Nero, and all of these coffee shops are all the same basically. So whereas that could be viewed as a good thing because you know what you're getting, actually it's not very interesting, and these multiples are just in the town, relying on the brand really to draw people in. But actually all of these independent coffee shops are amazing. They've got passionate people, they've got themes, they've got something unique about them, and really they are providing something which these multiples can't, which is local knowledge, local people. They're a hub of local gossip and chit chat and stuff that's happening, and they're a real friendly place to go. Now, the coffee union idea is about getting these independent coffee shops to work together, because by working together they can achieve a lot more than they can on their own. And because they're all different, they're all unique, they can all benefit from this, because no two of them are the same, and people can go and they can try out the different shops and the different experiences of each, provided they sign up to a kind of like a charter. And that charter is things like fresh local produce, fair trade coffee or sustainable coffee, cleanliness, a smile when you walk in, and providing a local, if you like, community hub. And I don't think any of these independent coffee shops wouldn't sign up to that. And we can then publicise this group of coffee shops as almost like a sort of jewel in the crown for the local area, and really start to publicise them and get people to start using them and trying them out, rather than going into the same old. So that's basically what it is. We're getting some leaflets put together, we're getting some little vinyl stickers that they can put in the windows, and they'll basically signify that this coffee shop is part of this sort of quality local independent coffee union, and I think it's going to be a really good idea. And we can expand that into local beauty shops and nail bars and stuff like that as well. So a real way of getting the community to start backing their local businesses.
Okay, so
And if you've not been to the LP Cafe, get yourself down here because it's really, really brilliant.
And it's quite cold out here, actually. Thank you, Tanya.
So, when is this like to start?
Well, basically, you know, we're launching Link for Business in March, so we're hoping to get the leaflets and all the stuff together imminently, and they'll probably coincide, because one of the things that these coffee union will do, for a small fee every month, they can join in with the networking, the local business networking. They can come along and start to partake in the community stuff that we're doing as well, and there's a whole raft of stuff that they'll benefit from. So if we coincide the two things, I think it's somewhere in the third week of March that we're starting the Link for Business, and I'm hoping that we can have this up and running before that, actually.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, thank you, and thank you to Tanya for video bombing Chris, and the recommendation of the LP Cafe. It's good. There are other coffee shops available.
There are indeed.
Yeah, no, thanks for that then, Chris, and telling us more about it. And of course, you'll keep informed as and when progress is made.
Will do indeed. Enjoy the rest of the show. This is freezing out here.
Well, it's just nice and warm there. I wouldn't have think of outside.
All right, cheers for now.
Bye. Okay, Neil. Watford played Spurs last week, and they were lucky to only get beaten 1-0, I understand.
Yeah, unfortunately my prediction came true. I didn't think it'd be quite as one-sided as it was. I mean, Tottenham are playing really, really well at the moment. But I think from some fans' disappointment was that we went out with quite a negative lineup to contain them. So we loaded the midfield up with 5 players, which we hadn't done for quite some time, and we're hoping to nick a goal. And the scoreline was very flattering to us. It took a man of the match performance by Gomez in goal to keep it down to 1-0. So, but it's happened now. It's moved on. So let's not worry about it.
Okay, I mean there are a couple of things that are perhaps notable from the game. One is that Deeney didn't start, which is the first time I think this season he hasn't started. And the second is it's the 4th away game in the trot where Watford have played badly. Now, are they both due down to fatigue, or is there something deeper, more underlying?
I think with the Tottenham game you can say there was definitely some fatigue because we had a day's less rest. They only had 2 days to rest. But I don't think you can read anything too much into the away game. Our last games, they've all been really difficult games, so don't read anything too much into that, because earlier in the season actually our away form was better than our home form. So yeah, the Deeney thing, he hadn't trained for a couple of days and he said his legs were tired, so the manager did the right thing. Unfortunately the system he played with Igalo up front by himself just didn't work at all. Just didn't work. That's not the role Igalo can play, and let's just hope he doesn't ever do that again.
Okay, and one of Watford's major signings, Mario Suarez, had his first team debut, or full debut for Watford in the Spurs game.
Yeah, he was rushed in to load up the midfield, and unfortunately didn't seem up to speed with the Premiership, losing the ball quite a few times in midfield. I think that was probably just a shock to the system how quick the Premier League is to the sort of football he's used to playing. But he's a full international for Spain, so he's obviously a very good player. It won't take him too long to figure out that he can't hang around on the ball so long. Just a shame that last week it would have been good on his debut if he turned up and he was sparkling and everyone was cheering and shouting about him. But work in progress.
Well, I think that's the way Watford seem to be buying players at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. But it's always for the future, and it was unusual actually for Sanchez to put him in straight away. He normally doesn't like to do that, but he obviously felt we needed to shore up the midfield. Yeah, let's see. He'll be a good player.
Okay. Talking of internationals, Keisha Sanchez-Flores says that Troy Deeney could play for England.
Yeah, he first said this late last year, and I don't think there's any doubt. I think he would be a great addition to the England squad. If you look at the way he plays with Igalo being the provider, with either Jamie Vardy's pace or the skill of Harry Kane, no doubt he could play that role and do it very well.
So, well, fingers crossed, because the Euros are happening this summer, aren't they, in France?
Yeah, yeah, he might make the initial 30-man squad. So they name an initial 30-man squad before they cut it down to the actual 21. If he does do that, maybe he'll have a chance to impress in a friendly. You never know.
It'd be good after all the traumas and tribulations, and how he's moved on since those traumas and tribulations. The other thing is, there's been a lot of talk now, of course, about Alberto Penna, the young Venezuelan player who was signed by Watford on deadline day and then loaned back, signed from Udinese, but he was already out on loan at Granada and just been loaned back to Granada. But everyone's saying that he had a really good game against Real Madrid, which is, again, encouraging.
Yeah, so the manager's managed to catch that game, so he was very impressed with him, and there's a lot of clips going around of the guy taking apart some of the Real Madrid defenders, so he definitely looks like he's got a prospect. So seeing that in the Premiership was great. He is young, so Kike did manage to notice that he wasn't very good in his defensive duties, so he'll have to change that attitude. But he is tipped to be a big star, very skillful player and a big star. So it's then on to trying to get a work permit in the summer, which could be a dodgy thing because Venezuela aren't in the top 70 in the world, so therefore he doesn't automatically get a right to come to us. He hasn't played internationally for them, so now we're going to be relying on a new thing called an exceptions panel that look at things like how much you bought him for, how much you paid for him, where he was playing before. So we're going to need the exception panel to give us enough points to give him a work permit. But Watford seem to be good at this sort of stuff, so I'm presuming they're perfectly happy they will get one, otherwise they wouldn't have bought him in the first place.
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk about tickets, and Liverpool fans walked out on the 77th minute last week because of protests against the price rise to £77 and stuff like that. Now, Watford are not one of the most, certainly not the cheapest, but they're not one of the most expensive teams in the league either, are they?
No, and they had frozen their season ticket for quite a few seasons before the price hike in the summer. They are still the 5th cheapest in the Premiership. But also good on the Liverpool fans. 10,000 of them walked out of their home game and sent a very strong message to their board that they weren't happy. And the board have actually reversed their decision. It's a good thing because you want fans at the game. I mean, it's great having the tourists turn up and being able to turn up and have some of the seats, but you don't just want crowds full of tourists. You want some passion in the ground with the home fans. And also Watford were the only team who, when a survey was done about prices, said they would like away tickets kept below £30. So I would say shame on the rest of the Premiership clubs, really. Watford are the only ones saying, yes, we actually want our away fare end full of supporters and at a valuable, a decent price. So we've got a problem coming up because if the prices keep going up, we're not going to get the grounds full, and the TV rights are so high now, they get so much money. We could use that opportunity to bring the prices down and make sure the grounds are full every week, and then it's a better spectacle on television. There's better atmosphere in the ground, a better spectacle on television. So let's hope the clubs make the right decision on this one.
Yeah, I mean, Flores was saying if it was up to him, tickets would be free. That's what he's reported as saying anyway.
Yeah, well, I think it's more he would like them to be free. Again, I guess having the stands full every week. But why not raffle off some free tickets to the locals every week? That would be great.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, let's move on to tomorrow's game. It's Crystal Palace away. Watford lost 1-0 to a somewhat dubious penalty earlier on in the season at home.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry?
Yeah, I would just say, yeah, that was a very tight game, and really unfortunate to lose that one to what was a dubious penalty for sure. Tomorrow's game, both teams were on a bit of a poor run, but when you look deeper, I mean, Watford have only won 1 in 8, and Palace haven't won in 8. But when you look deeper, Watford have played Chelsea twice, Man City twice, Man City, and Tottenham twice. So we've had some really tough games. Palace are falling like a stone. They are the team that could actually get in trouble down at the bottom end the way they're playing. But take nothing for granted. A bad run can end at any minute. So it's not going to be easy, but it's Watford's opportunity to get back in the winning ways. The same as it was in Newcastle, we took that opportunity, and I expected to see it quite an open game actually. I think both teams are getting to the stage where they want to win, they want to break this trend. So I expect to see quite an open game tomorrow.
And of course, one of the kind of biggest talking points about the game is that Emmanuel Adebayor, who signed for Palace, was tipped to sign for Watford for most of the autumn.
Yeah, Watford were chasing him quite hard for quite a while, but that was with the presumption that we were going to be trying to fight off relegation and we needed cover for the front two and might need a few extra goals for the rest of the season. As soon as it became clear that we were doing a lot better than that and we were in the top half and we could look to build our squad for the future, we lost interest pretty quickly in him, and then Palace came in and snapped him up.
Okay.
He does have a reputation of when he first goes to clubs to scoring a lot of goals. Let's hope that's not tomorrow.
Yeah, let's hope it's the week after. And Sebastian Proto, the Austrian defender who plays for Watford, was saying that they must remain wary of the threat of relegation despite sitting 10th in the Premier League. And I remember when Kevin Affleck was on the show a couple of weeks prior to that, Cathcart said something similar about his time at Blackpool. So, I mean, is this talk just sort of there to gee everyone up, or is it a genuine concern?
Yeah, there's no concern whatsoever. It's not going to happen. But yeah, why not keep the players on their toes and G'd up? I think it's more that the managers probably give them a message to go out and speak to the press, just go on a bit of a bad trot, just to make them realise we're not taking things for granted. But with the number of games we've got left, we only need a few more points. It's not going to happen. But yeah, G 'em up. Let's get those wins under the belts and let's see how high up the table we can finish.
Exactly. Okay, great. Kings Langley Football Club. They're on a bit of a good hot run, unlike Watford at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, so all season they've been sneaking up to the playoff positions and then losing and dropping back down, sneaking up, losing, dropping back down. But they finally managed to put a good run together, the 4 wins on the trot, and they're up into third place on joint on points with second place St Ives. So they're in a really good position. They had a 3-1 win over their Chalfont St Peters, who are promotion rivals. So that was really good news. And they've got 2 winnable games coming up against some of the bottom clubs. Home on Saturday at 3 o'clock. So they've got a real opportunity. If they get 6 points from those 2 games, they might even stop putting pressure on Russian Diamonds at the top, which is what their manager Richie Hanlon has said they're going to do is go for promotion. Personally, I think that'll be a really tough one to actually pull off the top spot, but promotions are doable.
Okay. And okay.
Just got a customer, sorry.
Okay, we'll talk about charity events, and then we'll come back and talk about rugby and other sports a bit later. Catherine.
Yes.
March 20th is a junior challenge run, which used to be held alongside the Watford Marathon, but this year it's taking place towards the end of March.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, well, I was going to link in, you see, very, very nicely from Neal's last comment about the results from the Watford Half Marathon into the junior run, but we'll come back to that later. Yeah, the junior run is actually going to be on the 20th of March, and you can find out lots of the details and registration about this either on the Canterbury Park website or on Watford Harriers website, as they're the ones who are organising it. There's a £5 registration for it. They're actually running it alongside the Watford and District Year 5 and 6 cross-country finals. which is interesting. So this is all in Casbury Park. There's 2 races, under 8s of approximately 1.2 kilometres, starting at 10:40, and the under 10s, under 12s, under 14s, running approximately 2.5 kilometres at 10:50. Under 16s may also compete. I say it's £5 to enter. The first 3 boys and girls in each category will receive a plaque to be presented at the start and finish as soon as possible after the races. So that sounds like a bit of fun and a good challenge for the young people, and that's on 20th of March.
Yes, maybe Tanya can take part and take it. Yeah.
Well, if she can still grab some children and take them along and join in, then yeah, absolutely. That's
Let's not go too far there. Let's not get too close.
Oh, you spoil all of my fun. Get on with you. Of course I can do this.
Yes, okay. Yeah, as I said, Neil, are you coming? Are you back?
I am back, yes.
Okay, well, we'll just quickly go through the rest of the stuff. Valerians had a big win at Rugby at the weekend.
Yeah, so they carried their league form over into the Cup, beating Enfield quite easily, so they're through to the next round of the Cup. Back into the league, I've lost my link now. Back into the league this week.
Yeah, they're playing Woodford at 2:15, and Woodford are 8th in the league.
That's it. Well done. Thank you very much.
This is why I write all these crib notes for us.
I just lost my page for a second.
Okay. Now hockey. Last week we talked about how West Herts have beaten Cambridge, and these are fear of relegation, but they kind of fell back a bit this week.
Yeah, of a loss to Oxted puts them back in the bit of a mire, so they're going to need to get a couple of results to avoid being in a playoff position for relegation. And I don't know, the season's not going well, so I wouldn't be surprised to be reporting on a playoff situation.
Okay, and they're home to Richmond on Sunday.
Yep, 2 p.m. on Sunday.
And they play over by Casbury Estate, don't they?
Yeah, in the... can't remember what the road's called. West Herts Sports Club.
That's it, yeah. It's over that way. Water polo. Now, we talked last week about how they wanted the crowds to turn up, and we've only been able to get one of the results. So it's kind of like a bit of a what's happening next with, did they win that last game to get promotion?
Well.
We don't know. That's what I'm saying. We don't know. We do know that they beat the team on Saturday they were playing, which was Sutton and Cheam.
Yeah. Has there not been any reports? I couldn't find anything about Sunday's game.
No, I couldn't either. I looked on their site and everything.
Okay, so maybe that game didn't go ahead. We'll report on that next week.
Yeah, but anyway, they did win on Saturday's game, so things are still going on. And as Catherine alluded to, your end piece was going to be about the Watford Half Marathon result, which Catherine has been busy promoting for several weeks.
Yeah, the over 1,800 runners. A sellout, as usual, is one of the most popular half marathons because it's in the run-up towards the Brighton and the London Marathon, so it's a training run for a lot of people. A lot of people don't realise how tough it is, though, because it's an extremely hilly course. And it also has a reputation of one of the coldest half marathons of the year, being in February, and through all the countryside in the woods. But winning time this year was 1 hour and 7 minutes. I can't find the chap's name, but I'm pretty sure he was retaining his title. So, but that's a really fast time. As someone who runs a lot and broke my back trying to do 1 hour 40 minutes to do 1 hour 7, I can tell you that's going some.
Well, he probably gets more time to train than you do.
Yeah, but well, I don't think it's just training. It's just training. I just don't see how anyone's got the stamina to run that fast for that long.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks for that, Neil. We'll move on, but
Thank you.
That was going to be there to the Junior Challenge Run we've already done, so we'll talk now about still time to register for the raise £100 in 24 hours for Hertsmere ambulance.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I mean it's all still physical, sporty stuff we're talking about here. This is Hertsmere ambulance, raise £100 in 24 hours. How will you complete the 24-100 challenge? Now this is going on from Saturday the 5th to Sunday the 6th of March. And basically they're saying, well, what can you do? So you could choose to do a skydive, you could do a sponsored swim, fashion show, a cake sale, hold a raffle or a tombola. What could you do to raise £100 in that time? And obviously, you know, they're asking you to donate that money towards the Hertsmere ambulance, who desperately need funds in order to keep going. So yes, that's on 5th to the 6th of March. I'll post up their website details. All the details are on there. They provided fundraising materials. You just need to download the links to all of those bits and pieces, and yeah, get your thinking caps on.
Okay, that's great. Now we've talked a lot about messy fun runs with powder and bubbles and all sorts of bits and pieces, paint powders that is, and the gauntlet games are coming up for Hertsmere ambulance.
Yeah, this is a messy one. Yes, another one for the Hertsmere ambulance. They've a bit like Peace Hospice, they've got a lot of things on the go at the moment. So there's lots of choice, lots of things you can get involved in. The gauntlet games, the photo that goes with their piece online shows quite a mess. But if you love getting stuck in to something that's a little bit different, great fun of course, then this is the one for you. This is on Saturday, 16th of April. It's been held in Ware. It's an obstacle course basically to complete the challenge, run 5 or 10k, passing through a series of zones manned by gladiators. So obviously there's going to be lots of messy things going on, paint guns, you're balancing on beams across muddy bogs. Ooh, that sounds like fun. And the gladiators are ready to stop you and knock you off and get you into the muddy bog, of course. Escape the gladiators onto the giant slippery slide and let the games commence. So obviously this is in order to raise sponsorship for the Hertsmere ambulance. Registration deadline is the 12th of April. You register online. Again, all the details are there. You can actually do this as an individual, or you can do it as part of a team. So that might be a fun way of raising some money for this fabulous cause. That's the Gauntlet Games.
Okay, that's great. And as soon as one half marathon done and out of the way, then another one appears on the horizon.
Yes, but this one is for the Michael Sobel Hospice this time, the Hillingdon Half Marathon. This is a 10k race taking place on Easter Monday, 28th of March, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. So a nice bright and early start. Now in its third year, in fact, you can either run 10k or you can run the 13.1 half marathon route. So you've got two choices there. It takes place mainly within the grounds of Brunel University in Uxbridge, predominantly flat, unlike the Watford half marathon. So it might be a bit easier on the knees. Neal, you might be able to do this one. I don't know. But there's only one climb on the last lap. The race will incorporate one small lap of the campus and 2 larger laps on quiet roads and pavements. That sounds like a really nice day out. The 10k route is a single lap race. So you can download all the information for that on the Michael Sobel Hospice website. Registration for it, it ranges from £13 up to £23, depending on whether you're an affiliate or unaffiliated. Minimum age for this one is 17 years. Raise lots of money for the Michael Sobel Hospice.
Okay, that's great. And traditionally, people just used to go for a sponsored swim, and there's another one of those happening now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my daughter always used to get involved in the Marie Curie Swimathon, and I think since then that sort of started a few years ago. Lots of these swimathons have all sprung up, and they're such a good way to, you know, to get fit and raise money at the same time, and it's good fun. So this is a challenge, a swimathon. Free entry, open to all, but this is on the 17th of April at 9:15 till 12:30. 9:30 at St Helens School in Northwood, ends at 12:30. Swimmers must supply their own equipment. I'm guessing that's a bit of a given, you know, come in your swimsuit, goggles, caps, etc. Bring your own. There is going to be a trained professional lifeguard on duty. 11 to 16s must be accompanied by an adult. Be ready to swim at 9:15 sharp. Yeah, that sounds like a great thing to get involved with.
In my day, they were just sponsored swims. There was no athons to them.
It was just swim, wasn't it? Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. Ladies' night, which is ladies in the night, I should say, which isn't sort of some advert for a red light district. It's a sponsored moonlight walk. Michael Sobel went saying there's still time for it to take advantage of the early bird discounting.
That's right. Yes, there's 9 days and 8 hours ish left to grab the early bird offer. So this is early bird registration. This is the Ladies in the Night, 10th of June. And this is an event where it's a midnight walk, basically. So you can join. Last year they had over 1,100 walkers, including 60 teams of friends, families, businesses, schools, local community groups, and individuals as well, of course. And they're hoping that this year is going to be just as good and just as much fun. Entry to this includes a free T-shirt, sponsor form, information booklet, and breakfast. The event starts and finishes at the Michael Sobel Hospice in Northwood. The walk takes place on well-lit local road. It's all very well organised, ample marshals in place. You can either walk the 5.5 mile route or the 9 mile route. So again, 2 options. Registration opens at 8 o'clock and the walk starts at 10. So all under 16s rather, must be accompanied by an adult. That makes sense. Entrance must be 11 years of age at least. Dogs are welcome too, and parking is free. So yeah, they want to raise lots of money for a ladies' night walk, yeah, sounds fantastic. 10th of June.
Yeah, great. Now, New Hope, which used to be known as New Hope Trust, here in Watford, the homeless charity, they're holding a frugal supper fundraiser.
Yeah, I've seen a few adverts for this on Facebook. It's been passed around this week. This sounds like a great idea. This is on Friday, the 4th of March, 8 till 10 in the evening. They're hosting a frugal supper for a limited number of guests, so obviously it's going to be first come, first serve, at the Haven Support Centre in Whippledale Road, which anybody that knows anything about the New Hope, they've operated from this centre for quite a while. But yeah, this is an interesting one. Again, something a little bit different, and no hills involved. So they're asking you to join them for a formal dinner, but where you would normally expect to receive a 3-course meal, actually you're going to be given a bowl of soup and a hunk of bread. The evening's entertainment will be provided by apparently a fantastic Watford-based music group, Luxford. Nice that they've got a great local band involved as well, so that's good. But at the end of the evening, guests are going to be asked to leave a donation of what you would have paid for a 3-course meal, what you think that you would normally pay if you had that meal in a restaurant. And obviously the idea is that those donations will then go towards the work of the New Hope Trust, or New Hope in Watford. So if you want to reserve a seat, you can contact Nafisa on 01923 227 132, or you can email events@newhope.org.uk, or it's all on the New Hope website, of course. But yeah, great idea.
Okay, and talking of homeless charities, DENS, the Decorum Emergency Night Shelter, are holding a spring quiz on Saturday the 27th of February.
Yep, absolutely. As you say, 27th of February, starting at 7:30. There's spring quiz. So friends and family can join in an entertaining evening of questions, food and fun. You can make up tables of 6 to 8 people. They're including a fish and chips supper, all for the price of £12. They do ask that you bring your own drinks and glasses, though, which is a great idea. So yeah, £12 per person. That includes food. Book your tickets contacting the fundraising team on 01442 800 268, or you can email fundraising@dens.org.uk, and that's the 27th of February.
Okay, and if you're into Lycra wheels and gears, you can help Dens in another way as well.
Yes, get your cycling gear out. This is happening on Sunday the 24th of April, and this is the Hemel Hillbuster. Yeah, this sounds really hard on the knees. Hillbuster takes you on a choice of 3 routes over the challenging Chiltern Hills and through beautiful countryside and villages all around Dacorum. The event starts and finishes in the iconic Gadebridge Park. Beautiful, beautiful setting, actually. Yeah, Dens is organising the event. All proceeds going towards the work that they do for the homeless in the Dacorum area as well. So the route is fully signed and marshalled, all very supported, food stations, water stations along the way, and you can register for this on the British Cycling website. There are several routes. There's a 25k route, there's a 60k route, and there's a 100k route for those feeling like they really do need a challenge. So yeah, have a look on the Dens website, and you'll find all the registration details on there.
Okay, and they're also doing a sponsored walk and they're looking for people to register.
Yeah, this is a little more gentle, a gentle walk instead of up and down the Chiltern Hills, but still a scenic route. This is on Saturday the 14th of May. They say join us for a relaxing day, which sounds much more my type of thing. In the countryside on the Dens circular 10-mile sponsored walk, scenic route along country footpaths, taking in a beautiful stretch of the Grand Union Canal and opening up into the lovely countryside. They're starting and finishing at Sainsbury's Apsley Mill, and there'll be lots of places along the way to grab a bite to eat and a drink, lots of pubs and cafes in Bovingdon and Chipperfield, a beautiful part of the world. Or if you prefer it, you can even bring your picnic and enjoy that along the way. There's a 10-mile course or a 5-mile course, so again you can pick the one that you want. But yeah, you're supporting the work of Dens and the issues of homelessness and Dacorum, another great way to get involved in our local communities, and that's on the 14th of May.
Okay, little bit nearer to today's date is the anniversary Peace Classics concert, and apparently tickets are still available.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure there aren't many left now, so it would be an idea to grab them while you can. Yep, for anybody that doesn't know, the Peace Hospice is celebrating 25 years of running this year, so there's lots of celebrations on this year to mark the occasion. This is the anniversary Peace Classics, which is on Thursday, the 18th of February, that's next Thursday, starting at 7 o'clock. And it's taking place in the purpose-built auditorium of Clarendon Mews. Tickets include drinks and reception and canapes. We've got, oh yes, this is the Royal College of Music Junior Department, so a fantastic chamber orchestra conducted by Chris Horrens and the chamber choir conducted by Joy Hill. £15 concessions, £25 for adults. Yeah, sounds like a wonderful evening. Again, all the details will be on the Peace Hospice website, and that's next Thursday, 18th of Feb.
Okay, now if the distances talked about earlier on for the sponsored walk or the Hemel bike ride seem too far, you can actually raise money just by walking about 20 metres.
Yeah, not very far at all, but there's a catch. There might be some hot coals and broken glass involved. Well, that sounds like fun, doesn't it? If that's your thing, then this is the thing for you. Again, for the Peace Hospice, another part of their 20th anniversary celebrations, they're offering you an amazing once-in-a-lifetime experience. I'm guessing once you've done it, you probably won't want to do it again. Maybe you will, I don't know. But they're looking for 50 brave local people to take on the 2 amazing challenges, walking not just over hot coals, but also over broken glass, all to raise money for the Peace Hospice. The experience has been described as a life-altering event. I'm sure it is, but an amazing experience, no less. You get some full training, so there's lots of helpful tips and tricks, I'm sure, but also it's got a great deal to do with mind over matter. So yeah, a great thing to get involved with. There's also a bar, a barbecue, raffle and entertainment, so there's a whole celebration involved. Registration is £25, and they ask that you raise a minimum of £75 in sponsorship. So you can register online. This is being held at the Holywell Community Centre in Toppets Lane in Watford on the 17th of March. Again, details on the Peace Hospice website.
Okay, that's great. And the Watford Women's Centre are celebrating International Women's Day.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a good plug for Yellow Comedy and also for the Watford Women's Centre, of course, celebrating International Women's Day. There's going to be a special Yellow Comedy evening on Tuesday the 8th of March, and this is going to be at Attico Arts Centre in the lower part of the main high street in Watford. £6 tickets plus commission on Eventbrite, £7.50 on the night. This is 7:30 to 11 o'clock, as I say, at Attico on the 8th of March. The comedians lined up for the evening are all female comedians, all fabulous comedians, including some fabulous acts that we've seen before. Headliner for the show is Yuriko Kotani. She's a Japanese comic based in London, and she won the BBC Radio New Comedy Award 2015. The evening will be emceed by Andrew Carberry, who is one of the promoters of Yellow Comedy. It's his baby. And also there'll be Sandra Hale, who was Yellow Comedy Queen of Hearts in 2015. But there's a whole host of fantastic acts on the night, so it's something fantastic to get involved with. And that's on Tuesday the 8th of March. Put the date in your diary.
Okay, that sounds great. And Michael Green Foundation have got some pieces planned, and they're looking for runners for the London 10K, I gather.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a handful already, but we are looking for more runners. If you fancy getting involved with fantastic charity, raising money for diabetes, raising money for Watford General Hospital Diabetes Unit, the British 10K is it's a lovely race to get involved in. Actually, it's around all the iconic sites of London. It's the British 10K, which is run on the 10th of July, Sunday the 10th of July, and it's just a fantastic route. You go all around the Houses of Parliament, all around Big Ben, and you end up coming down the Mall to the cheering and screaming of thousands of people lining the route, of course. It's a great fitness challenge, and you're raising money for a great cause as well. Anybody interested, let me know.
Okay, that sounds great. Now, on to next week's Link for Growth events. There is no coffee tomorrow at Barracuda as Chris is away, and often his travels and stuff like that. On Monday, Chris can try out the lemon drizzle cake at Ocean Bells.
Hang on a sec, I'm not away. I'm not away.
You're away from Watford tomorrow.
Oh, well, I'm only going to King's Langley, it's not exactly miles away. Yeah. I mean, well, it's not officially a coffee on the market tomorrow. It's just I go there every week, but it's actually tomorrow, not official. So don't get too excited. A lemon drizzle at OB Coffee. I don't think I'm going to be there. Well, no, what is Tuesday? It's not OB, is it?
No, Tuesday's the kitchen where you'll be going to make a direct.
No, I'm going to be in Coventry.
Well, someone has to. Anyway. On Tuesday, Monday was a Link for Coffee at Ocean Bells, starting at 10 o'clock. On Tuesday, we had another Link for Coffee at the kitchen in Croxley. On Thursday, and I think Chris has already started on this one, we have a Link for Drinks at the Wetherspoons pub, the Moon, the Water, and Watford.
Hey, Link for Drinks! I'll be back from Wales.
Starting at 6 o'clock in the evening. I think you've started already, Chris.
It's the weekend, isn't it?
Nearly.
Anyway, and on top of that, tonight we have Yellow Comedy, which is supported by Link for Growth at Reason Cafe, starting at 8 o'clock. Doors at 7:30. Should be another great evening. They often usually are. In fact, I think one that was last week was Pump House was also very good. There's another one this week. They've got another one in Attico coming up in about a week's time or so, but they are usually very, very good events with a wide range of comedians. The comedians here on tonight, I don't think I've seen any of them perform before. They all look new names to me, so I'm excited, looking forward to seeing that. As Andrew Carberry, who guest on the show the other week, said it's free to get in, but you pay to get out. And hopefully we'll see you all there. Then finally, Catherine, restaurant review.
Absolutely. I'll be there tonight. I'll be enjoying Yellow Comedy tonight. And no, I didn't recognise any of the names either, so a whole new lineup tonight. Really, really exciting stuff. Yes, restaurant. We went to the Essex Arms, which, if you don't know, it is in the middle of the Canterbury estate. It's a really nice pub, plenty of parking around it, great for a Sunday lunch. It was lunchtime on a Sunday when we went, so they do a nice Sunday roast there. It's a good place to go if you've got all afternoon. They're not the fastest at serving, but actually when it arrives it's really nice. They do lots of deals, lunchtime deals during the week are really good. Two mains for a set price. They've also got a cask ale club, so you can be the first to hear about all the new real ales that they've got down there as well. Anybody that knows my husband Nick will know that he likes his real ale, and he's always interested to know which ones they've got on there. Very often they'll do some specials as well, so it's worth being a member of that and finding out what's going on. Yeah, food's great. Really nice atmosphere, family atmosphere. You can have business meetings there during the week. You can enjoy a family meal there, lunchtime, evening, any time of day, or you can pop in there for a coffee in the morning. Very nice, very friendly. Enjoy the Essex Arms on the Canterbury estate.
Okay, well, it sounds like a good recommendation. I mean, I've eaten there a little while ago, and it was always used to be very good and always had a very good reputation. Anyway, on that note, I think it's time to say cheerio, and we'll see you all next week. And apologies for the sound quality. For some reason, I don't know why we keep getting feedback this week, which we don't normally have, but that's how it goes sometimes. So cheerio from me and cheerio from everyone else.
See you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, bye.